Good morning from a very early flight over to Birmingham for the Motorcycle Live 25. The main bike drawing me here today is of course the new BMW 450 GS. However, I'm also keen to set eyes on the new Honda, the CB1000 GT. I've only a few hours here, so it's very much a whistle-stop tour, and saying that, it's not a full video on all the latest manufacturer offerings. It really is a flying visit just to see the bikes I want to see in the flesh. But I did think I might as well bring you along with me. I'm also keen to see the latest from China, and every year they keep on coming up with superb looking bikes and great specs and more importantly great prices. I mean, just look at these from QJ Motor and this 900 SX, albeit with Ducati vibes, but for 7,699, and that includes Brembos. However, I'm still not sure I could tell my mates I ride a bender. Would somebody please in the PR department with the slightest bit of knowledge about the English language, and more so slang words, please tell them we can't name this bike a bender. I think there would be a meteoric spike in sales if they did this, as the bike looks fantastic. It's also nice to see Benelli, who in many ways were part of the first wave of the Chinese insurgents, and they're still here, which actually speaks volumes.
Well, lo and behold, I was on my way to the BMW Motorrad stand, and the Norton stand stopped me in my tracks. I mean, just take a look at this. If I can try and get the bike in shot again behind that gentleman there. This is the Norton Manx R, and it's not a concept bike. It's actually a production bike. Oh, please don't tell me the price. I'm frightened to find out the price.
Now, I'm always on the lookout for a new helmet, and one of the lids I want to see is the new Shoei ADV, which isn't out until spring, so I ain't going to be taking that back as hand luggage on Ryanair this evening. But the other one I like is the RI Tour X5 with the newly released graphic match red, and that little hint of grey would suit my CRF beautifully. Can you hear the desperate justification here? Saying that, it's nearly too nice for my limited off-road ability, as I wouldn't want to fall off and scratch it. Well, certainly not at that price.
Well, here it is, I found it. It's smaller than I thought it was going to be. A lot of people have said how tall it seems to be, but then I suppose it's a bit unfair me being a 1300 GSA owner. First impressions, it's given me Hemi 450 vibes, and I don't know why. It looks nothing like the Hemi. But there's something about it, obviously, which is making me feel like that. Strange.
I really am going to have to ride that 450, as the initial spark I was hoping for didn't happen. What is great though is the price. BMW have nailed it with the entry level at under £7,000 in the UK. They are going to fly off the shelves. Now, I was very interested at seeing the Suzuki DRZ 4S at the ABR this year as an alternative to my CRF 300L before I bought it. But at that price it's too high, especially when the 450 GS is cheaper. I think Suzuki could have priced themselves out of the market with this one. I know it's going to be the more capable off-road bike by far between the CRF and the 450 GS, but in my world I'd rather have a dual sport and at the right price. I've also never liked this little glory hole headlight. Now, whilst we're on the subject of my CRF, I've noticed my grey plastics have gone rather dull, but I can't remember if they were ever really gloss-like shiny, so I just want to take a little look at this one to see. Maybe it's just me, as I really can't tell, and it's also difficult to see under these lights. I've always loved the look of these Fantics, but there's nowhere to get my hands on one, or rather my ass on one, in Ireland. Another bike hot off the press here at the moment is the BSA adventure bike, the Thunderbolt. I'm really interested to see the riding reviews coming through on this, as it's got a cracking little single-cylinder engine in there providing 29 horsepower, and it also has a 15-litre tank. which is very appealing, along with the 2117 wheel configuration. I think this will be a top seller, providing the price is correct, of course. I love that really simple TFT dash layout too. It's a very lively part of the bike market, isn't it? This 300, 450 adventure lightweight segment. And it's great to see. Okay, next. Oh yes, let's just take a moment to appreciate a little Italian finery. I think this hyper motard just screams hooligan, and I love it, especially this V2 SP version. The fact they have slicks on it as well makes it even more saucy. The show in general is a great day out, and there's something for everyone. And even whilst you're sitting enjoying your very expensive coffee, you get free entertainment.
So I always gravitate towards the Royal Enfield stand here at Motorcycle Live. I was really keen to sit on the new Himalayan offering, the Mana Black. Now I know it's essentially just a few new stickers put on it, but I sat on it, and people say first impressions. The first thing I noticed was this horrible, cheap dessert spoon feel on the clutch lever, which was just rattling around, and I just thought, if I owned this and I sat on the bike and I felt that straight away, I'd be selling it the following day. Isn't it amazing? First impressions. Could just be me. That's the bike behind me. Looks fabulous. But then I went and had a sit on the Bullet 650. Now that's a bit special. I absolutely, in fact, if I can get over there now, I'll show you. So the Mana Himalayan 450 is now off the list, but what is on the list is the Bullet 650. I just love this bike. I'll try and turn the camera around here. Take a look at this. So I love the fleck in the paintwork. Can't go wrong, of course, with a bit of black and gold. Look at that throwback to the old classic times. It's just beautiful. Not sure about these engine frames coming out for protection, but they are an accessory. I don't think they come as standard. Love the foot pegs for the pillion as well. The lovely wide foot pegs, and then the pipes. Look at the top view of the pipes. Absolutely love those pipes. So my pick of the Royal Enfield offerings from this show so far is definitely the Bullet 650. What I would do if I owned one is to get rid of the twin seat, and I'd put a single seat on it. I think it would make it look more the part as well. But it does come with the twin seat as standard if you're thinking about doing a little bit of touring. Really rather beautiful, that.
So, fighting my way through the crowds was getting tougher, and that's because the star of the show seems to be the new Honda CB1000 GT.
I wonder what everybody's gathering around here for then. Oh yes.
There's massive interest in this new bike, and hardly surprising, as it is beautiful. I firmly believe this is the new sportier and sleeker successor to the NT1100. And again, Honda have priced this really well for the UK market, coming in at 12 grand with full luggage.
Yes, that definitely has a presence, all right.
So even on my way home, I'm delighted to say that even though I came here with the intention of putting myself on a waiting list for the 450 GS, I think I've put that out of my head.
I like the look of that a lot.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked that little walk around with me. If you did, please think about liking and subscribing to the channel, as there's more to come. Dave Perry, WheelieGoodTV at Motorcycle Live 25.